What's up, YouTube? It's Dom Universe. Sending positive vibes to everybody. Sending love out to the world. Now, today we about to talk about the history of languages. A lot of people don't understand that the English language is actually a curse, and we using the language and don't actually understand the words we're saying to each other. So remember, in the Bible, right? The Bible is altered, right? The Bible has truth and lies in it. So listen, before Satan, right, the prince of air, split the seas that's down here on earth and the seas that's up there above the firmament, the celestial seas. Before he split the seas, right, we used to live underwater and we were called Atlanteans. Now, yes, Atlanta or Atlantis is real. And we used to be able to communicate telepathically, right? Without using words. This is before language. So, if you ever read the washed story in the Bible that talks about how the Tower of Babel got knocked down by God, who is actually Satan. Now, a lot of people don't know, like especially Christians, that the God in the Bible is actually Satan, right? Because why would God knock down the tower? Now listen, if you ever read that story in the Bible that talks about God knocking down the Tower of Babel, it's actually talking about Satan interrupting and disrupting the motor cortex, which is a part of the brain used to comprehend language. So it's similar to how the crown chakra is used to be in contact with the spiritual realm. So when he did that to the motor cortex, look up the story about Jacob's ladder from the earth to the heaven. That's a more in-depth story that's also in the Bible, right? It talks about how it's actually the tower is the motor cortex. It was not a ladder. So when he did this to the motor cortex, it caused everybody to babble. The Tower of Babel is in Babylon. Babbling. Babbling means talking, the lowest form of communication. So studies show, right, and telepathy is actually like it's a psychic power. Studies show, right, that 7% of communication is verbal. Only 7% is verbal out of our mouths, and 93% is nonverbal. So remember that 93% is body language, facial expression, feelings and emotions, energy, frequency, vibration. You don't just talk using your mouth, right? You don't feel people with your mouth, right? You don't feel people's energy with your mouth. You don't see people's face with your mouth. When you talking to somebody, right, you tell their emotion by their face or the energy they're giving off to you, right? So mindful connectedness. Babylon is in Iraq. The Iraqis also speak Arabic. Arabic is an ancient language. It's also similar to the language of light, or the light language. The light language is what church calls speaking in tongue. The light language is a spiritual mechanism or tool that's very powerful. It's used for like healing or manifesting or letting off bad karma. And a lot of us humans have bad karma from our past lives. So the light language may be useful to a lot of people. So babies, right? Babies speak light language. When babies are born, they don't know how to speak a language besides the language of light. So the way they talk is similar of that of the light language. It is the light language. That's why when you see two babies talking together or communicating, they understand each other. So no baby comes out of the womb knowing how to talk like Tagalog or Mandarin or English or French or something, right? So remember, babies are born with their first eye open, and that's another thing. We need to stop calling the third eye, or the pineal gland, we need to stop calling it the third eye, because it's actually the first eye. It came before these eyes. These eyes are what's used to see the illusion or the 3D realm that's controlled by Satan, right? Satan. Saturn. Set. This is why, since babies got their first eye open, this is why babies are said to be able to see angels. This is why a lot of people who not ready to open their third eye, they're scared to open their first eye, because they think they're going to see demons. What you think you're going to see is what you experience. This is why you should be letting your third eye open naturally or under the supervision of a guru. Because if you're not an indigo and your third eye you're not just going to be used to your third eye. And a lot of us indigos, our third eye never closed. So we went through a lot of stuff in order for us to be able to maintain this power. Excuse me for calling it third eye. I know. I'm still getting used to calling it the first eye. Now anyway, English language is a curse language. Remember I made the video about languages being spells, right? So have you ever noticed a plethora of English words originate from the Latin language, right? So the Latin language comes from the Moors, right? The first humans that were here. Know that, because the Latin language is where Spanish, Portuguese, French, Italian all originated from. And Italians, the Moors who were there, were Italian. Italians spoke Latin before they spoke Italian. So Italian also comes from the Latin language. But that's not it. That's not it. The English language is just a bunch of vibrations put together from different languages. So when the Germans came here, they forced the Latin language upon everybody. And if you don't know, the English language is actually the most spoken language in the entire world. More than any language. So take this in. Here's an example. The word nice. People think the word nice means to be generous to somebody or kind, when the word nice actually means foolish and ignorant. You should be using the word kind, because if you're being nice, think about it. You're being nice to somebody. You're acting nice. You can't be genuinely nice. You can be genuinely kind. Everybody has that in them. Heart chakra comes from the heart. Just like I say, you're supposed to want to be of service to any other human, right? It comes out of the act of kindness. So, this is also why I say we all should be learning etymology, learning the origins of words, because we use a lot of words, and a lot of the words we use also blocks our blessings. So, last names. The slave last names that people have is a curse. People live their lives calling themselves by names that were passed down to them and don't know the origins of or the meaning of their name. So get your name changed, because the name you get is not the name you were born with, or the name you were given at birth is not who you are. Do you think that when you go to the fourth or fifth dimension that you're going to be being called by your name that you are here? You need to, if you change your name, if you change your last name, at least your last name, to at least something that's comedic or moreish, or just something with a meaning that isn't like captivating or like segregating. Your life will change and you will feel reborn. You will feel like a different person. So like you not gonna go around like the fourth and fifth dimension calling yourself Eric Dickinson. Like when you go around telling somebody like your name, and it's a name that was passed down to you or given to you, and you like this is my name, I'm such and such. When you introducing yourself, you're basically cursing yourself. Know that, be aware. And that's part of esoterics. And yeah. So that's about it. That concludes today's episode of Untold Truths. I'm Dom Winners. Taking off. I love y'all. Peace.